So the other day, as a matter of fact, this was last night. All right. I was watching something with my husband, and it was a conversation being had between men and a woman. And it really triggered something within my mind that made me say, you know what? I need to go ahead and touch base on this because it is a common theme amongst women when we are having dialogue with men and expressing the things that we go through or talking about things that concern us. I noticed that whenever there is a conversation being had between men and women about whatever concerns or issues each gender may face, when it comes to the women, it's okay for them to vent, or it's okay for them to talk about things that are going on with them. And nobody says anything. Nobody says, oh, get over it. Nobody says, well, that's your problem. That's something that you need to deal with. You're angry, you're hurt, you're bitter. But then when it comes around to the men talking about what bothers them, or what goes on in society as it pertains to their feelings, their experience, it's like, oh my gosh, dude, who hurt you? You sound angry. You sound bitter. You sound like you're broken. You sound weak. Get over it, so on and so forth. And I find it to be very not only unfair, but it's also extremely cruel to do that. And I'm going to be really specific when I have this dope discussion. I'm going to go ahead and say it's really problematic as far as feelings being downplayed, experiences being overlooked, and the whole nine as it pertains to Black men. Now, oh Lord, here's the issue, you guys, that I have even as a Black woman, right? To where you guys will say, well, you're a minority, and this, that, and the third is working against you, and you have these problems. We have these problems as Black women. I'm going to go ahead and put myself out there as a Black woman and say, oof. And this is not to, again, discredit our experience or diminish what we go through or how we feel or anything of that sort. However, we have got to be real as it pertains to the struggle, especially within this society, as it pertains to Black men, and say that although we may go through a lot, if I were to be honest, which I hope that we are able to be on my platform, I would have to be real enough to acknowledge the fact that I feel as though Black men have it harder. Lord have mercy, Danica. You pick me pandering bitch. Look here, you guys. I know how that sounds. I know. And I never let me say this first. I never want to get into a mode to where it's like I'm trying to create this war amongst Black men and Black women. Like, that's not my objective. That's not my motive. It's never going to be a thing to where it's a battle of who has the most struggle and all of that. I never want to pit us against each other like that. So that's not my intention. However, my intention is to highlight some things and acknowledge some things. That way we can be more sympathetic, empathetic, and actually work towards a solution as far as gaining the understanding of what our men may go through. So again, when I'm saying these things, it's not to make it seem like, oh, well, you know, Black women, shut the fuck up. We're okay. We're perfectly fine. You don't go anything through anything. Nothing happens to you. The Black man this and the Black man that, and you're perfectly fine. No, that's not my intention, but I have to be real and call shit out how I see it. Even though Black women, we may go through a lot, right? I have to be real enough to say that from what I see and from what I gather, when it comes to Black men, it's a lot more working against them that they have to deal with than us. And the first thing that a lot of females want to go to when it comes to, well, women don't have it as good as men, as whatever the case is, they want to go to, well, women don't make as much money as the man. We can have the same job and we don't get paid the same amount of money. They get paid this, they get paid that. And when you think about any more, oh shit. When you try to go into more layers and levels of the conversation as far as, you know, women having it worse than men, it hardly ever goes past that. Right? Again, not to oh Lord have mercy, not to discredit or diminish our experience, but let's be real, you guys. It's a lot that we have to highlight as it pertains to Black men in particular than any other race of men. And I would go ahead and say that when it comes to Black men, the struggle is a lot deeper, a lot more traumatic, in the whole nine. When it comes to women, it's like, oh, well, you know, we can't go jogging at night because we're fearful of, you know, a man coming through and raping us. And again, not to diminish that or devalue that or discredit that. But when it comes to men, like, we can straight up and down lie on a, let's really be specific. We can straight up and down lie on a Black man, call the police, and get that man murked. Black men can just be out and about in the daytime, driving around, walking, and they have to have their head on the swivel in so many different directions due to how society views them. So it's not even a sense, oh, well, I got to be on the lookout because at nighttime this could happen to me. It's like Black men, it's like everything can happen to you at any time. And what makes it even worse for Black men is the fact that nobody gives a fuck. Right? So if something were to happen to a Black man, nobody really cares. Because for one, you're a man. So by you being a man, you're already expected to just take whatever comes to you on the chin. Right? You're a man, toughen up, deal with it. You're strong. Nothing should bother you. Dust it off. Like, men in general are taught to be that way. Men in general are perceived to be these macho machines that nothing ever bothers, nothing ever gets to them, the whole nine. So men in general go through that struggle to where you guys can't have emotions, you guys can't have feelings, you guys, outside of being angry, you know, anything outside of being angry, you're soft, you're weak, right? But when you add Black onto the man, that makes the struggle even worse because of how low on the spectrum society views Black men. Again, when it comes to Black women, we could be perceived a certain way to where we're low on a scale. But I have to be real enough to say this. Even though that could be the case, Black men are even viewed lower on that spectrum than us as Black women. If something were to happen to us, we would have way more help. Oh shit, the nigga. We would have way more sympathy, empathy, the whole nine than Black men. And that's just facts. And so many of us do not want to highlight that. Instead, we want to say things like, oh, well, get over it, back to the woman. Get over that, back to the Black woman. Yeah, but what about us? And we're always diminishing and overlooking it. Like we never acknowledge it is the problem for me. Whenever Black men have an issue, it's like automatically written off as, you know, you're bitter, you're angry. And again, nobody gives a fuck because after all, you're the lowest on the totem pole anyway. So just shut up, get over it. Like nobody ever stops to say, damn, that is messed up. Let's talk about that. Let's explore that. Like nobody ever does that. And I really find it problematic that a lot of Black women in particular don't give our men that same kind of respect or acknowledgement. That's an issue for me. Especially me being married to a Black man, having a platform that is almost 100%, you know, Black men. Like this stuff is really bothersome to me that we don't sit down and acknowledge the fact that you guys are going through a lot. You guys have to deal with a lot, and nobody really gives you a voice, or nobody ever really hears you out. You know, you're just written off. You're at the bottom, shut the fuck up, get over it. And on top of that, you're a man, so you really need to shut the fuck up and get over it. You know, otherwise, again, you're soft, you're weak, you're bitter, you're angry, somebody hurt you. Like we need to start realizing what's at play when it comes to Black men. Black men are not a bunch of bitter, broken ass Brian's, right? Because they call women the bitter Bettys. Black men are not a bunch of broken, bitter Brian's running around complaining about woe is me, and you know the world is against me, and I'm going through so much, wham, crying. That's not what's happening. What's happening is Black men are realizing that they can go through some of the same things as other people, us included, as Black women. And when they do or say anything about whatever their experience is, they're looked down upon or they're completely ignored. And they're like, look, I'm a human being too. A lot of the times from what I see, which I feel like is very important for me, especially to use my platform to talk about these things, considering the fact that, you know, my platform is majority Black men, and y'all support the hell out of your little big sis. And I'm married to a Black man. I got, you know, Black men in my family that I love, the whole nine. But when it comes to the conversation, a lot of the times Black men are expected to just be quiet and allow other people to get their issues off. But when it comes to what they want to say and what they want to do, it's like, oh, get over that. I don't appreciate that at all. The conversation is very imbalanced. The dialogue is very much so imbalanced. And that's a problem for me. I've noticed that when Black men and Black women are having certain conversations about the struggles that we go through, on both ends. I've noticed that Black men will shut up and listen, and they'll take in, and they'll be more understanding of what the woman is saying. Like, yeah, I feel that, sis, you going through that. Yeah, that's messed up. Yeah. Yeah, I feel you. That's a terrible experience. I hate that women have to go through that. I hate that Black women have to go through that. But when it's time for the Black men to say anything about their experience of what they go through, once again, shut down. And then it's most of the time it is being interjected, right? So when other people are voicing their concerns or their complaints, Black men, quiet. Yeah, that's messed up. They're empathizing, they're sympathizing, they're understanding. They're listening, right? There's no, oh well, but Black men go through this. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's cool. Yeah, whatever. But Black men, no, I don't see that. And that's what made me want to really have this dope discussion, to let y'all know. Thank you, Taj, to let y'all know, like, it's not what you guys are trying to paint Black men out to be. Y'all are really trying to paint Black men out to be just these inconsiderate, selfish, heartless creatures that don't give a damn about anybody but themselves. And that's not true. I see Black men in particular being way more compassionate towards even what we go through as Black women versus what we show them. Anytime a Black man starts to talk about what's going on, it's automatically like they jump in instantaneously, like, oh, but yeah, but what about, oh yeah, but we, and it becomes like this pissing match, right? Who can piss the most or the longest or the farthest. And it's like, hold on, we're not even trying to diminish or discredit your experience. We're just merely trying to express what we're going through so that maybe you can gain an understanding. But when it comes to the dialogue, it becomes like this competition of who can struggle the most, who goes through the most. And I've noticed that. Thank you, the culture technician, clinician. I appreciate you. I'll read that in a second. And that could not even be the intention of Black men, as far as having this back and forth about, well, I go through this more than you. Yeah, but I'll go through this. From my observation as a Black woman, from what I've been seeing lately, especially when it comes to, let's make it real specific. When it comes to Black men and Black women sitting down, talking about our issues and what we go through as different genders or whatever the case is, I've noticed that within those conversations, a lot of the times, I have to be honest, Black women will turn it into a competition of who is struggling the most, who is hurting the most. Whereas when it comes to the brothers, they're genuinely just sharing experience to gain an understanding. Sis, I'm not trying to discredit you. I'm not trying to make it seem like, your problems don't matter. I'm not trying to make it seem like you're nothing. All I'm saying is, can you hear me out? And when it comes to Black men, the world does that to them, to where it's always on deaf ears. So I really find it heartbreaking that when it comes to Black women, we do the same shit, if not worse. Because when it comes to Black women, I feel, because the Black man, and I know y'all hate this, y'all say it's memified and it's pick me and it's Black male worship, whatever, sis, shut the fuck up and listen to me. I feel, since Black men not only come from us and we come from them and they reflect us, I feel like we should, especially as Black women, hear them out the most. Why are we diminishing, discrediting, devaluing what Black men go through when we should be the ally. And I feel like when it comes to Black women, I gotta be real, sis. We are used, Lord, we are used as weapons. Lord have mercy. Why do I have to do this? We are used as weapons that are the worst against Black men. We are the worst weapons being used against Black men. And I'm going to explain why. The culture clincher says a shift is coming and we are waking up with therapy and self-esteem. And that's beautiful. And in culture, that's what I'm noticing. I'm noticing that, there is this grand shift happening amongst Black men. Black women, we have the Black girl magic, and like we got a lot. Society really does promote us, uplift us, empower us in ways that it just does not do for Black men. And so now, since Black men have noticed that nobody really gives a damn about us, nobody's coming to rescue us. Nobody's here. Nobody's coming to save us, to prop us up, to empower us. Nobody's coming to, do anything for us. So now Black men are taking upon themselves to just go out there and get it for themselves. Like we're gonna be our own saviors. Nobody else is caring. Nobody else is going to listen. So let's just do it for our damn selves. And I love that I see that shift. That shift is beautiful. And y'all are, doing that by any means necessary. Even if you got to be your own damn therapist. Even if you have to be your own damn counselor, your own accountability coach, whatever the hell is. I see Black men in mass doing that. And again, I thought that's beautiful. Y'all have to do that because the world don't give a fuck about you. And on top of that, your own women, Lord, your own women are against you and are being used to your detriment. They're being we're being used to hold you guys down in the worst ways. Not hold you down as far as, no, I got your back, but I'm gonna hold you down as far as holding you back. Not I got your back, but I'm holding you back. And what makes it even worse, as far as how we do Black men as Black women, is the fact that when Black men look at us, they can very well see their mother, they can see their sister, they can see their aunt, they can see their cousin, they can see their daughter. And so that causes them to maybe let down their guard in certain ways that maybe they wouldn't otherwise let their guards down. And so when they come to us, because they see, their reflection, right? They can be more vulnerable with us. And they can feel like, oh, I finally have somebody in this world outside of just my brother that maybe I can relate to, or maybe they can understand me or appreciate me, or whatever the case is. Right? And how disheartening can it be when you sit down with your sister, right? And you're talking to her about what you're going through or how you feel or your struggles. And she looks at you and she speaks to you and she talks down to you worse than anybody else ever could. And she was the one that you really felt like was maybe the last one in the world that would hear you out. But instead, she calls you bitter. Instead, she says that you're weak. Instead, she says that, she don't want to hear what your problems are because hers are worse, and she turns it into a competition. She doesn't want to hear about what your complaints are. Complaints are a competition to her. Oh, well, I can outdo that complaint because I go through this. And that has to be extremely heartbreaking. Because again, I've seen on so many countless occasions where Black men and Black women are sitting down having a dialogue, and Black men are hearing out the sisters. They're sympathizing, they're empathizing. And then when it's their turn, it's like, oh, you sound bitter. And it's like, what? I didn't say that you sounded bitter when you were talking about your experience or what you were going through as a Black woman. I didn't say that you sounded hurt, or I didn't say that you were conquered, when you had your experience. I didn't tell you, oh, well, you should do something about it then. Because but when it comes to Black men, it's like they don't get that same kind of grace. They don't get that same kind of understanding, that same kind of compassion. And I want to let us know, like, Black men are not fucking bitter. They're human. And they need to be able to express themselves just like anybody else, without all of the shaming, without all of the ridicule, without all of the reversing of whatever the issue is, and saying, well, I go through this. They need to be able to really be just like how everybody else is granted that same luxury of just being human, expressing themselves, talking things out, feeling certain things. Like that should be something that is widely accepted and tolerated universally. But when it comes to Black men, I gotta be real enough to acknowledge, even as a Black woman, thank you, Mr. Dacus, and say that Black men, y'all at the bottom. Y'all are. Nobody cares about you. Nobody cares about Black men. Y'all know how Kanye was like, George Bush hates Black people. Everybody hates Black men. Black men can't say shit without, again, being called bitter, angry, dusty, broke, lame. Like everybody is against the Black man. And what makes it even worse is that you see Black females with the hugest platforms built upon slandering their own men. They're not our men. Thank you, Ron. I'm gonna read all of that, y'all. Give me a second. What makes it so much worse is that you have Black women profiting the most off of not holding Black men down, but holding Black men back, shitting on them, stepping on them. And it's so bad, you guys, that it's the norm. Not only is it socially acceptable for Black women to build humongous platforms and profit off of ridiculing, shaming, blaming, and all of that as far as Black men are concerned, but then you have the world looking at Black men like they're scum. Like, damn. And so now it's become this popular thing to do as far as talking bad about Black men, attacking Black men, making Black men seem like they're just so inferior and like they just don't do anything. They don't go through anything. They don't feel anything. And when it comes to you guys' experiences as Black men, like, you live in a world to where it really doesn't, like, we're expected for it not to bother you. Let's put it like this, y'all. And we can hit 500. Y'all like the video. Y'all give us 425 likes. Let's put it like this, you guys. Black men are expected to be fucking heroes, superheroes, superhuman heroes. Thank you, Brandon, for becoming a channel member. Black men are expected to be superhuman heroes. Whatever you go through as a black man, it's your fault. Because after all, you should have did something about it. Whatever you go through as a black man, it's not that big of a deal, because after all, everybody else's experiences are worse off than yours, when that's fucking ridiculous. It's not true at all, you know. And so by default, thank you, Mr. Dacus, most common response, who hurt you, boo? The facts. And thank you, Ryan. So because you guys are expected to be these superhuman heroes as black men, everything that you go through, all your experiences are extremely downplayed, overlooked, overshadowed by the next. Right? You can't afford to say anything about how you feel, what happened to you, what you go through. You can't do it. You're a superhuman hero. Why are you complaining? Well, it's your own fault, because after all, you let that happen to you. Can you imagine if black men had that same energy towards black women? Oh, bitch, you're over here talking about being great. No, because this is really what happened. I watched something last night with my husband, and the female on there, she was talking about, well, women, we go through this, and we, a lot of the women, they were complaining about not being able to jog at night because they're fearful of being raped by men and all of this. And the men were like, yeah, sis, that's fucked up. Yeah, I feel that. You shouldn't have to live in a world to where you can't do that, and you have to be fearful of stuff like that. That's terrible. But when it was their turn, you sound bitter. The black man on there was like, somebody, he used his own personal experience. He said, my baby's mother, the mother of my children, called the police and lied on me and had me removed from my children's life. Right? And when the police came, due to whatever her claims were, the police said, look, bro, I feel you. I know she's probably lying. I'm looking at it, and it looks like she's just on some bitter baby mama bullshit. But the police said, bro, I have to do my job. And do y'all know how much that hit home for me? Because that was essentially the same situation, the same experience that my brother had with his children. He's dealing with a bitter female that he was once married to. And because she's upset because he wants to leave and it's not working out, she wants to lie on him and have the most precious people in his life taken away from him. And that's just so happened to be his children, his little girls. I remember my brother telling me that was the same words that the police told him. Yeah, bro, I feel you. I believe you, but I got to do my job. She said this. I know it's probably lies. It's probably bogus as fuck, but I got to do my job. And so when the black men were talking about their experiences as far as, look, we can have people lie on us and ruin everything. We can get our children snatched away from us. Based upon a lie, we can get gunned down just from being outside the wrong place, wrong time in a particular neighborhood, or maybe I'm in my own neighborhood, but because I look like this and I'm a black man by default, like I'm just a threat. off the rip. I'm a threat. And so the black men are talking about their experiences. Like, yeah, sis, I feel you. That's fucked up. Women should get paid the same amount for the same job if they have the same amount of experience or whatever, and they're doing the exact same thing. Yeah, that's fucked up. They should get paid the same. Yeah, that is fucked up. Y'all live in a world to where, y'all can't go outside at night without having to look over your shoulder because you're fearful of being raped by a man. That is fucked up. But when it came time for the men, the black men, to talk about what they go through on the daily, it was like, but you sound bitter. Yeah, I know she lied on you, but you sound bitter though. Yeah, I know she got your kids turning against you, but you sound bitter though. And here's the thing though. Let me say this. Why aren't black men granted the luxury of sounding bitter? Hear me out. Hear me. Hold. We live in a world where everybody else can express their feelings in the most passionate of ways. This happened to me. Women go through this. This happens to us. We go through this. This is messed up. And the men do this, and the men do that, and the men do this, and the men do that. You are granted the luxury of sounding bitter because that shit sounds bitter. Men, black men in particular, can't come through and say, "Oh, sis, you sound bitter." Yeah, but I feel you, but you sound bitter. Let's focus on the fact that you sound bitter. Black men can't do that shit. Thank you, Black Goku. I'll read that in a second. Why aren't even black men granted the luxury of sounding bitter? Sounding bitter, not actually being it, but sounding it, just like we are. And other men are. Because at the end of the day, aren't black men human just like everybody else? Don't they go through shit just like everybody else? Why when it comes to them, oh, you gotta shut up because you starting to sound bitter? If you went through some bullshit every day, all day, just because of your existence, um, correct me if I'm wrong, but that would make you feel away. If we had to go through even half of the shit that black men had to go through, we would be we would be mm, bitter wouldn't be the word for us. Y'all are lucky that black men are just sounding bitter. The amount of bullshit that even the best of black men still have to go through on a daily basis would create savages and monsters of this fucking world. Y'all are lucky that all they're doing is venting, sounding bitter. Black men can go to college, get degrees, never get arrested, never go to jail, have the best career, the best job, stay out of trouble, be a family man, be a good husband, be a good father, the whole nine. And because he's a black man, do you know that he's still viewed as a fucking threat and a monster, a machine that just needs to work until you die, a mule. That is what even the best of black men are viewed as. I can be an upstanding citizen and get gummed down. Y'all know what we mean. I can be a stand-up citizen as a black man and still get gummed down just for walking outside, just for having a nice car that I bust my ass off to get. Thank you, Jerron. I'll read that in a second. And now I'm not supposed to have what I have. And so I'm suspicious just from working my ass off and getting me to a position to where I'm able to have certain luxuries, certain materials, certain items. I'm able to be in certain neighborhoods or whatever the case is. And I'm still looked at like a threat, still looked at like scum, still looked at like I'm a criminal. Black men, it doesn't matter that you're educated. It doesn't matter that you've never been in the streets. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that black men have to go through so many more obstacles just to get a fraction of the success of other people. And still be viewed a particular way. So let's put it like this, you guys. Y'all give us 517 likes. I appreciate y'all for pulling up. When you see a black man that is successful in his own right, let's say that he makes good money, he's in a good neighborhood, he drives a nice car, he's in a really nice career field, the whole nine. When you see that type of black man, do you know what the fuck he had to go through to get there? Do you know what obstacles were set in place against him? And he still beat those odds and he's there. And from the outside looking in, it can look like, oh, well, he got it going on. Y'all have no fucking idea what black men have to do to get into these positions. So can you imagine you busting your ass day in and day out to get to a level of success, a particular level of success, and still be viewed like you're nothing, like you don't matter, like you don't have a voice, like you're an animal, like you're a criminal? Like, damn, I worked hard not to fall into those categories. I worked hard to get myself to this position. And you mean to tell me I'm still not good enough? I'm still not heard? I'm still not respected? I'm still not seen? And on top of that, I got my own black women working against me. I can work so hard to get here to where I am today and still get gummed down just because I'm a black man. And y'all got the nerve to be out here saying, black men are bitter. Y'all lucky that's all that you are perceiving him to be. Because to be honest, if a lot of us have to go through what black men have to go through, even the best, quote unquote, of black men have to go through, we would be on, look, I'm talking about bombs going off. So I find it highly disrespectful as even a black woman that black men really don't get the proper appreciation, the proper congratulations for all of the work that they have to go through, for beating a lot of the odds that they have beat. We silence Black men universally. But it is even more of a slap in the face when Black men are being silenced by their own fucking women. Thank you, RC, for becoming a channel member. That's really crazy to me. And I'm like, damn, Black men never get to really say anything about their experience, about how they feel and what they go through. Every time it goes back to, oh, who hurt you? Like somebody said earlier, who hurt you, boo? But you sound bitter though. You sound weak. Do something about it. Get over it. Can you imagine if Black men met us with that same fucking energy? Well, you should never been outside then. Maybe you wouldn't have got grapes. Maybe you shouldn't have wore that. Maybe you shouldn't be so sexy. Maybe you should have worked harder. Then you would have got paid more. Well, do something different. Maybe that's your problem. Can you imagine? But when it comes to Black men, well, maybe you just should have kept your head on the steering wheel. Well, maybe you shouldn't have worn a hoodie. Well, maybe you should have never pissed her off, because you had to do something in order for her to take your children away from you. Can you imagine? It's always the Black man's fault. So excuse them if they have a little more passion behind their voice, a little bit more pain behind their eyes. Do y'all know what the fuck they gotta go through every day? Even the upstanding ones, even the good citizen ones, right? We can hit 600. Y'all like the video. There's some real talk that needs to be widespread. Jerron says, hey sis, just checking in. I see it every day. Many Black men are not bitter, but we are wearing out and checking out as a result. Just like mechanical fatigue and failure with an object. Let me say this, Jerron. Let's tie this into relationships, because you know we are a relationship-based platform. Because Black men are especially being silenced and looked down upon, frowned upon, not taken seriously, the whole 9 yards as it pertains to the whole, just in society in general. They've also noticed that when it comes to relationships, thank you, Vernon, it's even worse. Vernon says, hey, big little sis, sorry I'm late, fresh out of my church and into your church. Preach, girl. I appreciate you, Vernon. When it comes to relationships, you guys, Black men are even more so stifled, muffled, dumbed down, watered down. Shout out to you, RC. And this is also contributing to you guys checking out, being done with it, not really taking relationships seriously. So when Jerron says, you know, he sees it every day as far as Black men, you know, wearing out and checking out. You guys are doing this in so many different on so many different levels. Not only as it pertains to society, You know, black men, y'all gotta be shut. Y'all just gotta shut up when it comes to everything. But when it comes to relationships, it's even worse. You're expected to do everything for your woman without your woman having to pour into you. Other men of other cultures, backgrounds, races, whatever the case is, they don't tolerate any of the nonsense that black men have to tolerate within their relationships, within their marriages. They don't deal with it at all. And they would be damned if they deal with it. Oh, my woman, she's not going to disrespect me like that. My woman, she's not going to talk to me like that. My woman, she's going to make sure that she contributes. My woman, my woman, my woman. Shout out to you, Rice, becoming a channel member. But then when it comes to black men, oh, he's so wrong. He should be ashamed of himself for trying to have his woman to do this, that, and the third. Oh my God, I can't believe black men are expecting their women to respect them like that. I can't believe. But then when it comes to their relationships and how they run their families and how they run their households, they wouldn't be caught dead slipping the way that black men are expected to slip. When black men try to implement or do some of the same things that other groups of men do, they're called toxic, again, bitter, angry, controlling, abusive. But any other man, that's just the role. Any other man, that's normal. Again, Jerron, why a lot of you can see a lot of black men on the daily just being like, fuck all of this. Because the moment that I say something or the moment that I do something, I'm once again going to be the enemy. I'm going to be the bad guy. Thank you, son, Judah. Yeah, absolutely. Getting robbed for your stability with no reciprocity. That's exact. And you are expected to do that. And you better not flinch. Because otherwise, nigga, you bitter and you're weak. Other men, they would just take it, but they're not. And this is the gaslighting. Oh, I don't know. Other men, they do it all the time. I don't know why you're upset about it. And they don't. Do y'all know how many times I've come across other groups of men saying the same shit that black men say? Their platforms are not being taken away from them. They're not being canceled. They're not being called toxic masculinity. They're not being called bitter and angry and misogynistic. They're instead just called men. Oh, he's just being a man. I mean, any man would. But let a black man say the same shit, and it's like, oh, whoa, what are you doing, little nigger? Little nigger? I didn't say that word. How dare you feel like you deserve to be treated like a man? Oh, you're bitter, you're angry, you're toxic. What? Something's wrong with you. Who raised you? Your mama black. And it's like, okay, and his mama's white. And he's saying the same shit I'm saying. Tomato, tomato. What's your point? And what makes matters even worse is that when it comes to black men and their complaints, they're extremely justified in that shit. Black men are required to do a hell of a lot with way more working against them. Let's just be real. Let's stop the cap. And I'm gonna be 1,000 with you. If I were a black man and have to go through that shit, I would be bitter as fuck. I would be bitter as fuck. I would be mad. I would be angry. You mean to tell me I have to work 20 times harder just to get a piece of what you got? You mean to tell me I have to work 100 times harder to get to the same level as you, and I still don't get the respect? I would be bitter. Anybody in their right mind would. But you have black men not even taking that approach. You got black men saying, you know what, it is what it is. Do y'all know how many brothers I've heard say it is what it is? That's just how life is. Gotta deal with it. Again, I'm married to a black man with those same sentiments. If I understand the way of the world, I understand how that shit works, and so I just gotta make it do what it do. I gotta do it for myself. I gotta go and get it myself. It's how it is. Is it fair? Do I like it? No, but it is what it is. Black men have to have a "it is what it is" attitude. Otherwise, he's bitter. He's angry. He's weak. He's hurt. And that's fucked up. That's nonsense. That's BS, y'all. And we raise men to be that way. We raise our black men to be that way. It is what it is. Take whatever. Deal with it. Or here's another thing that they're taught to do. Well, if you don't like it, make your own. If you don't like it, build your own. If you don't like it, do something different. First of all, as if it's that easy, right? That's first things first. Sometimes that process can be a lot more complicated for black men to build their own. And when they do, what happens? Somebody wants to come through and sabotage it. Somebody wants to come through and tear that shit down. But second of all, you have black men doing exactly that. All right, cool. I can't join them. Let me beat them. Let me create my own. Let me go my own way, right? And when they do that, that's a problem. Because they're going to have to start fresh, new at the bottom. See, we expect for black men to just, do something greater, build like that shit happens overnight. Then when black men try to take matters into their own hands and do something differently and create for themselves, now we want to look at it like it's nothing. You and your little this, you and your little that, you and your little business, your little platform, you and your little group, you and your little this, completely diminishing it. Well, look what they're able to have. Look what they've built. As if they don't have first and foremost privilege on their side and decades, centuries under their belts. Access. Whereas black men, especially in America, you're really starting from scratch. A lot of us don't even know where the fuck we come from. Like we're here like, well, I don't know. Man, they stole every damn thing, forced me to do this, forced me to do that. And you have black women like, that's because you were broke, dusty, and you conquered. You let these men come through and conquer you and all of this. Like, bitch, how dare you? First things first, you're in the same boat as me. No pun intended. You're in the same boat as me. So if I'm conquered, bitch, you too. You let them come through and do this, then the third to you. But I'm saying all that to say this. When it comes to black men, like, they're completely just not even viewed like humans at all. Everything that they go through is their fault and they should have done something about it. Then when they do something about it, it's not good enough. When they feel things and they say things, oh, he's hurt, he's bitter, he's complaining, and like you just can't win. You can't win. And that's a problem for me. I really do feel like it's a huge problem. The fact that when it comes to black men, you guys never get a chance to complain. You never get a chance to be sad. You never get a chance to be upset. You never get a chance to voice your opinions, your thoughts, your concerns, your experiences. You never get a chance to do that. Again, you just have to do what it do. And that's fucked up, y'all. Black men are taking matters into their own hands. This is what I see black men doing. I see black men taking matters into their own hands because they have realized that nobody gives a damn. It doesn't matter how I say this, how I do that. I'm still going to be viewed in a particular light, and it's not going to be the most pleasing of lights to be viewed in. So let me just put my head down, put in the work, and get to it. This is what you see black men doing today. They're putting their heads down and they're getting to it. They're not being bitter. They're not being angry. They're not doing all of that. Will they have certain passion behind what they say? Yeah. Because they still feel. But at the end of the day, I have to just make it do what it do. That's what I see black men doing today. I see black men making it do what it do by any means necessary. And because black men are taking that approach, they're still being viewed like, oh, well, you must be hurt then. Like, no, I'm not. Like, black men can't even explore different options without being perceived as bitter. It's like, no, I'm just making it do what it do. If this pathway doesn't work, I'm going to go down a pathway that does work. And if you ask me about why I'm choosing this pathway, and I just so happen to explain to you why I'm doing that, if I say it in a certain tone or whatever the case is, or, I'm just vocalizing my experience and making it plain, don't take that as I have any hard feelings. Excuse me. Thank you, Chris. Don't take that as I'm hurt. Don't take that as I'm complaining. Just take it for what it is. Those are the facts. I'm just expressing what happened, why I'm doing certain things, and since you asked me about it, and I'm moving on. I'm doing me. But even when black men move on and do them, they're still looked at like you're bitter and you're hurt and you're weak. Because once again, black men are expected to just tolerate and deal with shit. How dare you take another approach? How dare you try to, go a different route? How dare you try to build something for yourself? Are you giving up? Because if you weren't as soft as you are looking right now, you would just make it do what it do and deal with whatever circumstances that you're being presented with. Why throw the experience away? Why throw the whole circumstance away? Why are you trying to go over here and do this and do that? Why are you trying to go over there and explore this and explore that? They even see that as weak. When you try to build your own or you try to do something different, you're still bitter. Because if you weren't, you wouldn't be over there exploring different options. And if you weren't, you wouldn't be trying to build your own shit from the ground up. And if you weren't, you would just deal with whatever we give to you. And black men are not doing that anymore. And it does not make them bitter. It makes them fucking smart. Black men are now doing the same things that everybody else has had the privilege and the luxury of doing, which is voicing their opinions, expressing themselves, and doing things the way that they see fit. And now that Black men are doing that, the world is in an uproar. The world is mad. And again, what's extremely disgusting to me is that you have Black women that are taking this shift, as one of my brothers in the super chat earlier said, the hardest, and going the hardest against the shifts. Chris says, I really appreciate you, Karen, but it's off to the Philippines. Another one. Hold on, Chris. Hold on, Chris. Because this is even deeper than the passport. When it comes to passport bros, I appreciate y'all, respect y'all. I respect all of y'all. Whether you stand here in America or you're leaving, I respect all of y'all. Do what y'all feel like y'all need to do. But this conversation goes deeper than just a passport. Because when it comes to the world and Black men, you guys are just perceived to be a certain way. Let me put it like this. Let me ask this. And this is, I'm not gonna ask. I'm just going. This is just my opinion. Let me just go ahead and say this. This is my humble opinion based upon my observation. Y'all give us 607 likes. When a Black man even goes overseas, right? How would he be perceived versus, let's say, a white man going overseas? Like, everything is different for y'all. Everything is different for y'all. It's not the same. Thank you, Kelvin. Thank you, Chris, again. Thank you, the real McCoy since 85. All around the world, the Black man is still perceived to be at the bottom. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how much money you have. It doesn't matter how accomplished you are, how successful you are. Like, universally, like, the Black man is still viewed in a particular light. You guys are just not able to be on the same level as a lot of your counterparts, whatever the case. Like, you just aren't. That's just facts. So it even goes deeper than just being able to just pack your stuff up and go overseas. Like, this shit is universal when it comes to the Black man. And it's so disheartening when your own women right here cannot even be real enough to acknowledge the fact that you guys have, y'all have the, I'm gonna go ahead and say, y'all have the worst experience. Oh, well, Black women, we go through the same thing that the Black men go through here. We get gunned down too, and we get harassed too, and we get looked at like this too. And but is it on the same scale, at the same level? Is the Black woman perceived to be the same level of threat as the Black man? Outweighed? No. And again, this is not to discredit or diminish what Black women go through or anything of that sort, but I really find it distasteful and disgusting that we cannot be real enough to acknowledge what Black men go through, and they have the nerve to say that they're bitter when they want to talk about it or they voice their issues. That's crazy. knowing damn well when we do that, we expect for people to just listen, be understanding, be receptive. Hell, help us. When Black women, such as myself, even try to help Black men, we're talked about. We're shamed for that. We're called mammies, Black male worshipers, pygmies. And it shouldn't be that way. It shouldn't be an instance to where when you're trying to understand what Black men are going through and you're trying to be open, have an open mind and gain an understanding, it should never be a instance where, oh, well, you must be one of them. Something wrong with you, because why would you ever want to be understanding and empathetic and sympathetic with a Black man? Don't you know he's at the bottom? That's trash. But that's the world that we live in. And y'all have it in y'all minds that Black men don't go through a lot of nonsense. Well, we're not saying that they don't go through anything, but we're worse. Please. Black women even are more likely to get the help that we need, the assistance that we need, the investment that we need, the voice, the platform. Come on. We're more likely to get that over the Black man, even if we go through the same thing as the Black man. So, for example, if a Black woman were to get deleted by an officer, for example, I guarantee you the outpouring of help, assistance, awareness, the whole nine would be way greater than if it was a Black man. That's just period, y'all. They would be like, oh my gosh, how dare they kill a mother? How dare they kill a daughter? A little woman. And let's just put it, let's put it plainly, you guys. Let's really put it plainly. Let's say you have a Black woman and a Black man of equal footing in the world. Everything is equal as far as, their accomplishments, their background, what they have, family structure. Let's say they're equal. They're both equally good citizens. Let's say something very unfortunate happens to the woman. Do you know the outpouring of love, awareness, assistance, help would go towards her versus the Black man? Let's use the same scenario as an officer deleting a Black woman of the same caliber of the Black man. Let's go here for a second. If that were to happen, it would be news coverage about that. It would be foundation started about that. It would be all kind of things helping and shaming. Oh my gosh, how dare that officer do that? And like it would be a whole different scenario. Same type of man. Let's say that happens to the man. Again, the same. He's the same background, same everything. Upstanding citizen. Do y'all know if that would happen to the Black man, the news coverage that would happen? Oh, well, back in 1992, he was arrested for popping Advil in the parking lot of Walgreens. Back in 2011, he was actually caught jaywalking across the street to go to Walmart. Actually, back in 2020, he was caught shoplifting a pack of Mentos. So he's really not an upstanding quality citizen. He's really not a good man. He actually deserves that. Because after all, he shoplifted a pack of Mentos back in 2020. Because a matter of fact, he jaywalked across like they would find so much dirt on that Black man. There would be no great outpouring of love and help. No. Even the black women would be like, well, he was a ninja, so you know they all bad. Ain't no such thing as a good black man. He was probably bitter too. He was probably broke, dusty, and conquered too. Like, seriously, that's what happens. And we really want to be out here playing. Like, that's not a thing. Like, that's not going on. You got your own women finding the dirt on you for the media. Well, actually, he really wasn't that upstanding of a citizen because he owed child support to one of his baby mamas. He owed 95 cents on one of his accounts. Like, we do the most destructive shit. And that's what makes it worse, because we are supposed to be the ally. If black men don't have nobody else to open up to vent to understand, to help, it should be us. But we do them the dirtiest. Let's be real. We shame black men the most as black women, and that's facts. Everything is a competition. Everything, we look for ways to diminish black men. Let's just be real and stop playing. We see that every day. As a matter of fact, the women with the biggest platforms that just so happen to be black are platforms built off of the backs of slandering, degrading, diminishing, emasculating black men. Tell me when I'm wrong. The biggest platforms of black women, especially within this relationship sector, whatever the case is, it is those platforms to where you have black women uplifting, quote unquote, each other, which we're really not. Thank you, Bobby. Talking about how we're perfect, which is, again, really not uplifting us, actually hurting us, because if you're not going to acknowledge your roles or your faults and your flaws, you can't develop, you can't grow. You can't learn from your mistakes because everybody's telling you you have none. So we have platforms that's doing that while simultaneously saying black men are trash and they ain't shit and they do this to us and we need to do this and we need to get back at them and we need to do. Those are the biggest platforms. And what makes it even more scary is the fact that a lot of them females be really believing that shit. That are being influenced by these females. Yeah, because black men, they're bitter and they're angry and they're dangerous. You have platforms being built like that, massive, with huge followings, and more black young women being programmed to view black men once again like they ain't shit. They don't have feelings. They don't go through anything. They're not human. Which just piles on more to what black men go through, which will ultimately just make them feel like, you know what? I'm done, which is what I seen in the super chat earlier. I didn't get a chance to read it yet, but I've seen somebody say, I'm just done. And we don't understand that we play a direct role in that. And then we wonder why, when it comes to our relationships with black men, as black women, black men don't want to really be bothered with us, especially right here in America. And I hate to keep bringing up passports and shit, but that's just what it is. Thank you, Bobby. Look what Candace Owens said when George Floyd was, look. And she represents a lot of how the black women are even treating black men. Like, can you imagine having the world against you, including your women? And you got the nerve to be talking about black men are bitter? You sound bitter. You're bitter. Who hurt you? The world hurt me. Yet I'm still getting through it. I'm still making it do what it do. That's what black men are doing. Y'all making it seem like black men are walking around angry and bitter. No. As a matter of fact, They are raised and programmed to just take shit, deal with it. In order for somebody to be bitter, that means that I had to internalize something, feel suppress issues, and never get a chance to voice everything. But Black men are brought up to be that way. So to them, being silenced is normal. So how can I be bitter off of something that's normal to me? You know what I'm saying? Like, no, I'm not bitter. That's the way out of the world. Can it hurt? Can it be disappointing? Yeah. But bitter? No. I see Black men out here thugging it out, to put it plain. Thank you, Tommy. And when can I also say this? When Black men are granted the opportunity to talk about their experience or what they go through, then that passion and that pain may come out, right? See, we live in a world. Thank you, Chris. He says media paints us in a bad light for other cultures, but when they deal with us personally, they understand how we are misrepresented. Yeah. Hear me out, you guys. Black men live in a world where everything is just against. I hate to say everything just against y'all, but I mean, it kind of is. But you're silenced a lot. Black men are silenced a hell of a lot. And so you get to a point to where you're just accustomed to just dealing with everything and just making it do what it do. You don't talk about it, you just do. I don't have time to talk about it. I got to put in this work. That's how Black men are built and wired, right? Due to the circumstance, due to the environment. However, when you do ask them about, okay, well, let's talk about what's going on with Black men. What are y'all going through? How do y'all feel? Whatever. All of that passion and that pain may come out then, but other than that, due to how we're brought up, I'm just going to be quiet about it. So it's very disingenuous to walk around talking about how Black men are just so bitter and angry and hurt and scarred and all of this, when we're actually asking them certain things, or we're actually trying to pull certain information or things out of them. And then when they express those things, now it's like, oh, well, you're hurt and you're bitter. So let's give this example. Let's say that Black men are just minding their business. Thank you, Charlie. Thank you, Jadiel. Thank you, Vernon. I'll read all that in a second, you guys. Let's say Black men are just walking around minding their business, being great, right? Again, I got a lot that's working against me, a lot that I'm going through, the whole nine. But I'm just going to deal with it, right? Because again, I'm just taught to make it do what it do. Suck it up, man up, boss up. My mama taught me that. My daddy taught me that. My grandma taught me that. My grandpa taught me that. The world taught me that. Shut up, Black man. Just take it and deal with it. Yeah, I know it hurts your feelings. Yeah, I know it's unfair, but shut the fuck up and deal with it. So Black men go their whole lives from the childhood into adulthood feeling like, oh, okay, just deal with it, suck it up, deal with it, suck it up. Yeah, my feelings hurt, but deal with it, suck it up. You better not cry about it. Okay, deal with it, suck it up. And so they just go about their merry way, doing just that, dealing with it, make it do what it do. Then let's say somebody asked a black man that's not a black man, okay, whether it be a black woman, a white woman, white man, white woman, Asian, whatever. Let's say anybody outside of what it is to be a black man asks black men, hey, how does it feel to be a black man? What are you going through? What is your experience? And then black men are like, what? You talking to me? Yeah. Black men are like, well, damn, I ain't never had nobody ask me how I feel, what I'm going through. Oh, well, since you asked, I feel like this, and I'm going through that, and this is not right, and this is not fair, and this is not good, and this is not cool. But I just keep trucking, I just keep going, I just keep making it do what it do. And then that same person who asked the question says, "Oh my God, you sound bitter." Excuse me? First of all, you asked me. I've been dealing with this my whole life. I've just been out here making it do what it do my whole life. I've been in pain my whole life. I've been silenced my whole life. I've been taught to just carry it my whole life. And I ain't said shit. As a matter of fact, I was just trained. That's what it is. I was just trained to suck it up and deal with it. Make the best out of it. And then you got the nerve to ask me what's going on with me. And then when I tell you, you're going to say I sound bitter. When this whole time I've just been quietly dealing with it, quietly working through it, quietly just making it do what it do. And now when I get a chance to speak, and maybe I got a little bit more pain in my voice or a little bit more passion behind what I'm saying, you got the nerve to say I'm bitter? Fuck you. Respectfully. And this is what you see black men doing. This is a part of that shift that's going on with black men to where it's like, you know what? Fuck y'all. And you have black men out here taking matters into their own hands. And because they're taking matters into their own hands and they're saying, you know what? I don't got to deal with you. I ain't got to deal with this. I don't have to subject myself to this in the process. Now it's like, oh, you're bitter. So be it. Black men are not bitter. Trust me, I see black men up close and personal every day. I have an example of up close and personal black men in my life every day, to where the odds are against him and have been against him. And I've seen how he just deal with that and get through that and make the best out of it. Ain't nothing bitter about my man. Ain't nothing bitter about a lot of the black men out here. It's just that they've been through a lot. They've been dealing with a lot. And now it's just like, well, if you're going to ask me about it and I tell you about it, don't get in your feelings about it. But bitter? Huh. If black men were as bitter as the world tries to paint them out to be, do y'all know how stuck and stagnant black men would be today? There would be no progress. Black men I've seen firsthand transmuting their pain, their struggle, their problems into productive energy, progressive energy. I've seen it. I see it every day. Who is this? Thank you, Dodge. I'll read all of that, y'all. Give me a second. Black men are not bitter, they're passionate. Again, they're using that pain as fuel to keep going. If black men were any ounce of bitter, this world would be upside fucking down. Please believe me. And I'm gonna tell y'all right now, as a black woman, if I had to go through even half of the shit that black men go through, I would be bitter. So I wouldn't even blame black men if they were bitter. But they're not. And that's respectable. And that's to be respected and acknowledged. And I don't feel like it's fair that we make it seem like, because black men, are just, supposed to tolerate and just deal with it, that they don't have feelings. Like, no, they're still human. So excuse once again the bass in his voice. Excuse the passion in his eyes. But that's so problematic to just write it off as just, oh, you're bitter. And again, like I said earlier, rightfully so, if he was. We don't want to see black men bitter. We don't want to see that. On a massive scale, black men being bitter, please. We've seen what has happened even recently with a few black men that were bitter. They went off the rocker, okay? They went off the rails. That's bitter. Bitter is saying, you know what? Fuck this shit. Everybody getting ready to feel what I feel. That's bitter. Black men ain't bitter. Since when is it bitter to express what you go through and how you feel? And talk about your experience. Bitter is blasting. Bitter is, bitch, I'm getting ready to, everybody getting ready to get demolished in this mother. That's bitter. And we, once again, even recently, have seen what happened when black men have become bitter. Nobody wakes up tomorrow when black men are bitter. That's not what's happening. And how messed up is it that we live in a world to where even black women try to silence and discredit and shit on black men? We are pathetic. If anything, a lot of these females are bitter. Duran says the black men will still be seen as predators just in general perception. But Jerron, what makes it worse is you have your own women that will perpetuate that and be like, yeah, the black man is a predator. The black men, they are trash. They are destructive. They are scum. And it's like, damn, really? Then when y'all want to refute that, it's like, oh, you're bitter. You're angry. Something's wrong with you. Thank you, the real McCoy. He says, I'm just done. And I wouldn't. Here's the thing, the real McCoy. A lot of black men are just done. And by y'all taking the approach of I'm just done, they're saying you're just bitter. And I'm saying that we should be so lucky that black men are just saying I'm done instead of saying, you know what, I'm mad. I am angry. I am bitter. I want people to feel how I feel. I want people to experience what I experience. I want people to feel even worse than how I feel. That's bitter. We should be lucky that you're just done. We should be lucky that you're just going somewhere else. Lord. Thank you, Chris. True, but only a ninja here. Right. You know, but I wanted to point out the fact that it goes much deeper. You know, it goes much deeper than just getting a passport. That's my whole point, Chris. So it's not to say that, you know, you wouldn't have a better experience somewhere else, because you very well could, you know. But it's just universally, the black man, y'all go through way more than anybody, no matter where you go, you know. And that's just what, look, let me just be quiet, man. Thank you, Kelvin. Black men are built for all situations. Knock us down, we get back up. Don't be mad because I didn't accept the emotional part. Can't get stuck in feels. And that's what I see so many black men doing. Like, y'all are not allowing your experience or what you go through to stop you, to hinder you, to make you just angry and bitter. Like, I don't see that happening. You know, I don't see black men on a massive scale like, oh, well, you know, I'm gonna just be in my feelings, be mad, and I'm gonna just start complaining every day, all day, and to the point to where I'm not even doing anything with my life because I'm so angry that all of this shit is against me, and I'm just so mad that these women, and I'm just so mad that society, and I'm just so mad that in the community, and I'm just no, that is not what's happening, and I feel like it's not fair that you are not able to highlight things and talk about things without being classified as something that you're not. Like, just because I want to talk about my experience or talk about my struggles does not mean that I'm letting those things stop me, or I'm letting those things get the best of me, or I'm not progressing in my life. That's not what's happening. And a lot of times y'all get written off that way. It's like both. I can walk and chew bubblegum at the same time. So yeah, I'm able to complain about what I'm going through. But just because I'm complaining about it, or I'm talking about it, or I'm voicing my concerns, does not mean I'm letting that shit stop me. But yeah, that is a fact. That is true. That is my experience. That's what I'm trying to say. Black men don't get a chance to say, I'm going through this, but just because I'm going through this does not mean that I am becoming this counterproductive, bitter, angry, destructive ass person. I'm human. I'm going through this, and I'm choosing to go this route and deal with it. But this does still bother me. But I'm not going to let this stop me. I see black men doing that, and y'all can't even do that. Without somebody saying, "Oh, well, you're not supposed to," and that's completely unfair. It's unrealistic, and it's problematic. The real McCoy says 36, 6'1", no kids, no criminal record, 200,000 a year, and can't find a decent black woman that respects a who? Who respects me, a man? Well, and that's again problematic because a lot of us would say that you would be the ideal black man that we would want. We want a man that's making a decent amount of money. We want a man this height with no kids and no baggage attached to him and all this extra nonsense, right? And yet we will not give you even an ounce of respect that you deserve. Because again, you guys, for a black man to not only be making a significant amount of money a year and build himself up to a level to where he's good, but on top of that, you have the audacity not to have a criminal record, which means that you kept yourself out of trouble. Do y'all know what amount of effort, energy goes into avoiding certain issues that plague the black community as a black man? It takes nothing for a black man to get a criminal record. Nothing. You can be completely innocent as a black man and get a criminal record. I'll just pin some shit on you. You look guilty. I'll make up some charge. Like it is extremely easy for a black man to get a criminal record. So for you to make it to 36 with no criminal record, no baby mamas, and making decent money, that took a lot of discipline. That took a lot of strategic planning, operating and maneuvering. That took a lot of focus, a lot of ambition, a lot of drive. So for you to be at that level as a Black man, and you still don't get any respect, and you're having a difficult time, that speaks values about how the world perceives you. You can be picture perfect damn near as a Black man, and it's still a problem. Oh Lord, hold on, let me scroll. Kelvin says, most people are single because you haven't found your purpose in these new times. Keep your head up, brothers. Life is more than just sex and fast cars. Black men already know that. Here's the thing, Kelvin. Black men already know that life is more than sex and fast cars, which is why everybody's mad and calling the Black man angry and bitter. Because Black men are now, again, in this new wave, in this new shift to where they're on their purpose already. They're keeping their head up. Again, they've been taught to do that their whole lives. Just deal with it. Keep your head up. Get over it. Suck it up. Man up. So they're already doing that. They're just now doing it with a vengeance. Right? Like, no, I'm really on my purpose now. That's some bullshit. I'm really on my grind. I'm really focused. I really do have tunnel vision. I really am somebody that is heavy in my self-discipline bag. Like, I'm really heavy on my grind. Black men are doing that. And that is, once again, a threat. How dare you? You must be angry, because if you weren't, you wouldn't be so focused. Type shit. Just dumb. Why you so determined? You must be hurt. What? This is what they got to go through. And so, Kelvin, I feel you to a certain degree. But when it comes to the Black men, a lot of them are single because they're dealing with females that don't have any purpose for their lives. They're dealing with females that cannot add on in a positive way to their lives. These Black men can be purpose-driven, purposeful, have their money together, have their minds together, their foundation strong and sturdy. They got it and gone with it. But a lot of them are single because the women that they are being presented with here are on bullshit. Downplay him, emasculate him, discredit him. It's all about the woman and what her experiences is and what she's going through. Thank you, Dodge. She says, what's up, Miss Danica? Hope all is well. If these modern day real women think they could survive in this cold world without their only ally, which is the Black man, they got another thing coming. And although I really did want to highlight, which I think that I did, the fact that a lot of Black men's experiences are oftentimes downplayed, like it doesn't matter, or he should just suck it up and get over it. There's so many different levels and layers that can be explored. And another layer that can absolutely be explored is the fact that a lot of us as Black women don't understand that by us downplaying our men and not finding or seeing the value in them and not respecting them and not, again, giving them what they deserve if they are indeed doing what they need to do, and which a lot of them are, which is crazy to me. I see the most well-to-do Black men still being shit on, like, and that's what's really mind-blowing, like, damn. And then they're even saying there's no such thing as a good Black man at all. I'm like, are y'all are crazy. But this is what's happening. And we don't realize that by us playing into that, it actually hurts us in the long run. And it ends up isolating us in the long run. Because what happens, Black woman, when you've done as much damage as you possibly could to the Black man, to the point to where he doesn't even want to deal with you because he can't trust you. He can't respect you. He can't love you for all of the damage that you've inflicted upon him. And now you're alone. Now you're by yourself, trying to tackle the ways of the world or do what you need to do to get by, to survive, to live. This is why I find it most problematic when Black women are diminishing and downplaying and emasculating Black men, talking about, oh, shut up, man up, you're broke, you're bitter, you're mad, you're nothing. Because ultimately, sis, and we don't even see it or know it yet, but while you're doing that, you are creating a wedge and a huge divide between you and Black men. And because we have so many Black females doing this, creating this huge divide, which is going to make it problematic for a good chunk or a good bulk of us Black women, to where Black men will also look at us sideways too, just because there's so many Black females over talking, overshadowing us, to where we all start to blend in and look the fuck the same. What happens is Black men start to turn their back or go seek women overseas or somewhere else, right? Or if anything, they'll go and get different races of women, or they'll be single, mingling, whatever the case is, because they do not trust, again, a lot of the Black women or any of the Black women. We end up isolating ourselves, and here's how. Black females don't understand that when they are doing this, shitting on their very own men, creating huge platforms on it, getting profit from it, being championed by it, creating more delusional, confusional ass females that ain't about shit. When those Black men turn their backs on you, which a lot of them already are, we see this right now today. Black men in mass, they're like, look, I'm not bitter, I'm not mad, I'm just going somewhere better. I'm not bitter, I'm going somewhere better. I'm doing something better. I'm doing something different, new and improved. I'm not bitter. I may be passionate, I may be hurt, but I'm not bitter. I'm taking that shit and I'm doing something different with my life. I'm improving my life with that. Again, transmuting of energy. That's all Black men are doing. And when they do that in mass, and we're already seeing that happening right now today, when majority of Black men do that and they say, you know what, fuck Black women, because a lot of them talk bad about me. A lot of them don't respect me. A lot of them don't see my value. A lot of them ain't doing what they need to do. When that day comes and they turn their backs, you're going to be alone, sis. Because take a look around you. Let's really be clear. Let's be real. Again, we're exploring a different layer, another layer to this conversation. Take a look around us, sis. Who really has our back? I'll wait. Who really has our back? Let's go here, you guys. Because we already established the fact that Black men are not bitter. They may be in pain and transmuting that pain into productive energy, but y'all don't want to really see Black men bitter. Let me put it like this: if Black men are bitter, we wouldn't be here to see another day. It would look. We are getting assistance, Black women. We are getting assistance as Black women to destroy our Black men, which essentially destroys our families, which essentially destroys our communities, which essentially destroys us. Hear me out. We exploring another layer to the conversation. We think that because we are getting assistance now, that assistance will be available to us in the future. No. Let's put it like this. You have Black women out here being pit against Black men. Not knowing that by us being pit against Black men, it's actually going to cripple and hurt us in the end. But hear me out. You have certain groups coming to Black women like, hey, you know you're better than Black men, right? Yeah, you're better than them. You really don't need them. And after all, what are they doing for you anyway? Which Black men have done a lot for us. Please don't believe the hype as far as Black men ain't building nothing. Black men ain't never protected us. Black men ain't never. That's bullshit. History shows that come on, stop it. But they really got us out here believing Black men never did shit. Stop. But okay. What are they doing for you? We'll be like, I mean, after all, they allowed this to happen to you. They allowed that to happen to you. And I mean, look at them. And they'll get in our heads like, damn, well, maybe I am better than a Black man. You know what? He ain't did shit for me. You know, he really doesn't add any real value to my life. You know, I am a bad boss bitch. I am a real women's. I don't need no Black man. Man, he's not even a man. He's a naker. He's a dusty. And they get you all souped up. Yes, is get rid of him. He ain't shit. But you don't understand that their whole plot all along is to isolate your ass. Let's destroy him first and then isolate you and then get rid of your ass too. But hey, they ain't gonna tell you all that initially. Right now, I gotta soup your head up. I gotta boost your ego. I gotta help you to help me. Right? And you really don't need him. He ain't shit. He ain't did nothing for you. Like he the reason why y'all in this position in the first place. Yeah, you right. How about we give y'all some assistance? For real? Yeah. We're gonna go ahead and give y'all money for housing, money for food, money for whatever you want to do. We're gonna get that to you. I mean, technically not supposed to use it for that, but hey, we'll turn a blind eye to it. You're not supposed to use money for that. You're not supposed to, sis. But hey, we'll turn a blind eye. Do what you want to do. Oh, okay. But all I ask for you to do is to not have this man be a part of that shit. Okay. Sound like a plan to me. I mean, if you're gonna help me out, then I really don't need him, right? Right. Or you have this going on. They're gonna hype and soup your head up so much so to the point where you subconsciously and consciously feel like you don't even need that man. So it's not even a sense of them telling us as black women, hey, I want to give you all of this, but get rid of the black man. Don't deal with the black man. No, that's not even happening anymore. What we see happening today is them hyping us up and souping us up so much so to the point to where we internalize the fact that I don't want him, I don't need him, I'm better than him. So they don't even have to directly tell us don't deal with the black man. They don't have to directly tell us don't respect the black man. They're gonna soup you up so much so to where you do that on your own. And we do it every time with our dumb asses. But get back to the story. So we like, damn, I got this, I got that, I got this enough, right? I'm balling. I got my own shit. I really don't need this. Ooh. Period. Then I start looking at the black man like he really ain't shit. And he is beneath me because look what they were able to pour into me to get me up high on my horse. Y'all are peasants. I got my own this. I got my own that. I'm doing the damn thing without you. Now realizing that that's only possible due to the assistance that they helped to fund you with, that they helped to give you all of these grand things to make you so independent, quote unquote. But really, how independent are we with all of this damn help? But we're gonna leave that over there. Then we notice that when we start talking badly about black men, our popularity grows. Oh shit. I'm starting to get money funneling in, opportunities presented to me from different groups. Hey, we noticed that you have a platform to where you bash black men all day. Would you like to come onto our platform? Sign me up. Hey, we see that you have this going on against black men. Would you like to have this level of fame and spotlight and recognition? Hey, sign me up. And before you know it, you have these wildfires of black females being essentially paid, incentivized to do certain things. And she's doing all the damn work for you as far as isolating her own self in the end and destroying the black men, but it was essentially going to destroy all these motherfuckers, and then we go again, elevate, be on top, and stay on top how we intend on. Can't have these damn black men coming through giving their women the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding to elevate, prosper, and grow, and then they eventually establish their own shit, and then they don't need us no more, and then we no longer have our slaves and our damn workers. No. We gotta stop this before it starts. So then you start to notice, damn, it's something to this bashing black men shit. I'm getting money now. I'm getting certain interviews now. I'm being presented on certain platforms. I'm getting fame, attention. And they're doing all of this. And unbeknownst to you, it's all a part of their plot and their scheme. Now they see that you are also influencing other young ladies, other black women around you to do the same thing because, again, they see the level of success that you have. They want to do the same thing. And before you know it, again, a wildfire of just black females bashing black men, devaluing black men, emasculating black men, destroying the black man's image on a massive scale. And let's say that this shit actually works. We have so many Black females realizing that, hey, you get funded when you do this. You get promoted when you do this. You get celebrated when you do this, as far as disrespecting and diminishing and emasculating Black men. You get enough of them doing that to the point to where it actually works, and now the Black man is destroyed. And not only is the Black man destroyed, but he don't like you. Mission accomplished. That's all they wanted in the first place. You don't want to deal with your ass. Oh, I'm done with Black females ain't shit. Black women ain't shit. Collectively, Black women ain't shit. Doesn't matter if it has good ones in the bunch. All of them ain't shit, because look at how the majority treat us, how they talk down about us, how they just want to get on the side of these different groups to tear us down. Fuck Black women. I don't want nothing to do with them bitches. Now those groups that were funding you and propping you up and giving you certain luxuries and granting you certain access, giving you certain privileges and all of that, they're nowhere to be found now. What's going on? Well, talking badly about Black men, that's not in anymore. Well, it's kind of disrespectful, and it goes against our brand and our policy to have the type of rhetoric and the type of wording that you use and the type of ideologies that you push. It's against our brand, and it goes against our policy. And, we really don't want to do that anymore. And before you know it, the same money, attention, fame, notoriety, all of that goes out the window. When it comes to assistance that maybe you were getting from the government, whatever the case is, we're actually going to have to start pulling those things away too, because a lot of you have just been abusing that. Black women start to realize, oh my gosh, my food stamps going down, or they getting taken away, and they don't want to provide certain housing anymore. And oh my God, what's going on? Where's my assistance? Well, once again, we realize that you guys have been abusing the system, and it's just been creating a bunch of laziness. And so what we want to do is get you guys up on your feet, so you can go out there into the world and do things on your own. Maybe get a second job, or, go back to school and maybe get a degree to help yourself out, this, that, and the third. And it's like, oh my gosh. So you're just seeing all of this shit just crumbling, being snatched away from you, because after all, mission complete, mission accomplished, problem solved. You already did the dirty work. You did exactly what we wanted you to do. You did it. You got rid of them. You turned them against you. And now we get ready to isolate your ass. Get rid of your ass. So again, we can be back on top. Stay on top, I should say. And we fall right into that shit every fucking time. As Black women, we fall right into. Y'all don't even see this. I guarantee you this shit gonna happen extremely soon. You're gonna see the collapse. You're going to realize, you're going to start to see certain things being pulled away and stripped away from certain platforms and content creators, the whole nine, that have a certain rhetoric being spewed about Black men. Just how they're doing these Black men that have certain ideologies or perspective or opinions about women. Best believe I would give it, in the next few years, tops, I would give it maybe 2. You're going to start to see certain platforms being pulled down to where it's like, oh my gosh, that is so extreme. How dare she say abort Black male babies? How dare she say Black men ain't shit and they're all bad and they should be exterminated? Oh my gosh, that goes against everything that we stand for. While the whole time they were funding that, they were pushing that, but it was only to get the mission accomplished. Now that shit ain't in no more. Guarantee you it's going to happen. All these extreme ass views that these females have, getting away with it. For crying out loud, one of my subscribers sent me in some chick's platform, and in the background, she got a black man hanging from a tree. While the black woman is swinging on the damn tree. I said, what kind of sick shit is that? All of this shit getting ready to be up out of here. Once they feel like mission accomplished, good enough, it's been destroyed enough. Best believe it. And y'all gonna be sitting there looking stupid by your damn self, like, oh my God, I can't believe that. They built me up just to isolate me and tear me down. Now black men don't want nothing to do with you. Mission accomplished, because after all, it was all about destroying the family to begin with. You can't have a strong family and foundation and community without the man as the head. So what better way to get rid of everything and destroy everything and everybody than to get rid of the black man first? Y'all don't even see the fucking play. Instead, when black men try to tell us the truth, he's bitter, he's broken, he's angry, he's toxic, he's misogynistic, he's a dictator, he's abusive, he's controlling. These men be on here saying some real life logical shit. Now, don't get me wrong. You do have some extreme ass dudes where it's like, nigga, you is bitter. You do need to calm the fuck down. You doing way too much. You worse than these bitches. Let's be real and call it what it is. You got niggas and bitches. They are not synonymous with black men and black women. You got that on here. To where they all need to shut the fuck up and sit down. But a lot of times, these men be saying some real shit. And they get deplatformed. They get silenced. They get cut out the algorithm, whatever the hell is. Hell, they do that shit to me. And you would think that it would have the opposite effect on me because I am a quote unquote black woman. But no, it's about what you're saying and what you represent. Hold on, let me get my focus right. It goes deeper than you just being a black woman. If you a black woman saying some shit that's in alignment with men, Like, for example, you guys, how do I have over 100 and some thousand subscribers on my channel, on my YouTube channel alone? This is not including Facebook. I got over 100,000 over on Facebook. All of that. How in the hell do I only have 600 plus people in my chat? I should have at least 10%, 20% of my people watching me. Y'all think that's not by design? Stop it. But I will be real enough to say that because I am a black woman and a woman, I get to say a lot of the shit that my brothers say and get away with it more than they are. But even I gotta watch my damn self. Let's not get it twisted. But we don't understand that that's the whole agenda. It's about the agenda, and we be so damn dumb. And people be having the nerve to say, oh, well, Danica, your platform does the same thing. You're all about dividing. You're all about doing this too. You're no better. And I call cap and bullshit on that. Because the difference between me is when I call things out, it's so that we can actually improve, understand what we're doing wrong and do better. You got to highlight in order to get rid of. If you don't tell me what the problem is, how can I resolve it? How can I fix it? If you don't acknowledge the shit, how can I do something about it? That's what I do on my platform. But you have whole other platforms. No solution, just a bunch of black men ain't shit, and yeah, black men are just dusty, and yeah, black women can do no wrong. We're perfect, and we just need to get rid of black men. Like, that's all they do. This is not calling out the shit so they can do better. It's just to shit on them. And that's what the money is. They're going to push you through the algorithm. They're going to promote you. They're going to do everything for you because that's the agenda. You on code, sis. Until you're not. And when that day comes, that's going to be tragic. And what you going to do? You're going to be looking around for who to save you? Black men. Watch. Mark my words. Let me be real realistic. I'll give it 2 to 5 years. In 2 to 5 years, all of these platforms being built upon with these extreme views, attacking and disrespecting black men in the same capacity as a lot of these other men's platforms that were attacking, quote unquote, and going against black women or whatever the case is, and them being stripped away, 2 to 5 years, they'll have the same result. Y'all better clean this shit up right now, sis, because your day is coming. Just watch. And who are you going to look to save you, black men? The same ones you call bitter, the same ones you call broke, the same ones you call dusty. When they start stripping away all of their assistance that they gave you, all of the promotion that they gave you, all of the money that they gave you, the popularity that they gave you, it's gonna be a sad day. Because you're gonna be sitting there dumb, like, I can't believe I did that. I let them use me like that. And now you don't have an ally because they used you to turn your own ally against you, which look what my brother said earlier. The black man was your ally, the ally. And they used you as a weapon against him, and now you ain't gonna have shit, nothing, nobody to turn to. When you need help, when you need love, when you need support, when you need protection. They ain't protecting us anyway. Okay. Well, now it's gonna be real exposing this motherfucker. I wasn't protecting you before. If you think I wasn't protecting you before, just wait. As a matter of fact, you're gonna see a lot of black men like, aha, bitch, that's what you get. Now you know how I feel. Thank you, Roberto. Shout out to my passport brother. Shout out to my passport brother. Shout out to all my brothers. Y'all don't even get a chance to say, that you want to explore different options without somebody saying that you're bitter. Black women all day, once again, creating whole platforms. Again, we're going into the different levels and layers. We're going to talk about all of it. Whole platforms about how they're divesting and they're exploring different options and they turning their back and all of this. And nobody for a second says, oh, you sound bitter. No, they say you're leveled up. Fuck out of here. Vernon says, stop the cap. Cis traditional women overseas have CNN, George Floyd to roots. Black men are seen as being mentally as well as physically strong, and they are ready and willing to comfort our pain. Look, you guys, when I said black men going overseas versus white men or whatever other group of men going overseas is going to be different for you, I'm not saying that you're not going to be appreciated or respected or honored or anything of that sort. But just to be honest and real with you, y'all think that if you go overseas as a black man and a white man goes overseas, that these people are viewing y'all in the same light? No, they're not. Doesn't mean that they won't give you any love or any respect, but they don't view you the same. That's just facts. They may perceive that white man to be more successful than you, more accomplished than you, the whole nine. So it's not that they don't see you in those lights at all. I'm just being real enough to acknowledge the struggle gonna be a little different. The respect gonna hit a little different. The love gonna hit a little different. All of that. That's just me being real, y'all. I'm like, oh, he's a white man. He must be really rich. Because that's just the image. I hope y'all feeling me and following me. But I'm not trying to say that, oh, they view you guys like scum and they won't respect you guys at all. I'm just saying in comparison, it's going to be different because of the programming of the world. That's just facts. Like you said, Vernon, they have, the women overseas have CNN. They have media. They're able to see different images and have different perspectives and perceptions based upon what's being presented. And in media, white men are presented to be greater than you. It doesn't matter where you go. But I digress. You feel me, Mr. Davis? Look, I digress. I don't see what was cap about saying that. Spiritual says, I stand with you, sis. I appreciate you. Thank you, Jadiel. Let's be clear. The hate is real from a portion of Black women. There are influences out there, I'm not going to say the word, actually pushing for the extermination of the Black men by selective, I know. And it's platforms like that, just why? Y'all going to be in for a rude awakening. Because they getting ready to hit y'all with that same wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, as they hitting these brothers with. Or these men with the same type of rhetoric in reverse. And let me be real, Jadiel. A lot of these women with these massive followers and platforms, they go harder than what these men that are being deplatformed have ever went. You following me? Thank you, Charlie. Like, it's baffling. Which again can play into men feeling a type of way. Right? So even if y'all want to say, oh, Black men are bitter and all of this and all of that, I have to keep reiterating the fact that rightfully so, if they are, which a lot of y'all are not. Let's just use it for the sake of argument. Wouldn't you be bitter too if you're saying things that are not even remotely close to what this Black female is saying about Black men, and she still has our platform, she still is monetized, she still is growing, she's been invited to certain places, like, and I can't say anything. And again, what I'm saying can be logical, rational. You just don't like it because I'm a man, or because it is in the light of a certain perspective as far as how a man would think as far as roles are concerned. But I'm not saying, oh, abort all females, and if she's Black, make her a slave. I'm not even doing all of that. All I'm saying is I feel like a woman should be submissive to her husband. And it's like, oh my gosh, take down the whole platform. But a Black female can come online every day on social media, every day, all day, with the message of kill Black men. And she's good. And Black men not supposed to feel no way about that. And if he says, oh, that's unfair, oh, get bitter. Fuck out of here, y'all. Can we stop? Can we stop playing? Like, there is not favoritism. Like, there's not levels to the struggles. I gotta be real, even as a Black woman, and I know we go through a lot of shit. Way more than a lot of other people in this damn world. But when it comes to Black men, especially in America, we ain't got shit on that. I'm sorry. Look at the privilege that we have over them. Charlie says, the women internationally judge us individually on our own merit. No hate and sisterhood there. I'm speaking with firsthand knowledge that nobody can doubt because the proof is on my Instagram. I hope y'all are not trying to make it seem like I'm saying that other groups of women, like if you travel or anything like that, that they don't respect y'all, or they don't love y'all, or they don't support y'all, or they don't want y'all. The only thing that I was trying to articulate is this. Let's give a stupid ass example, you guys. Let's just give it a stupid ass example. Right here in America, you can have fresh organic strawberries as a Black man, and you can have them for sale. And the world will say, no, because you're a Black man selling fresh organic strawberries, they must be rotten. They're not as sweet. They're contaminated. We're not going to buy from you. We don't care because you're a Black man after all. So I don't want your strawberries. You can also be a white man right here in America selling fresh organic strawberries. And the world would say, oh, well, I'm going to buy from that white man because his strawberries must be clean and juicy and sweet. based upon how media, society, the whole nine paint you guys in the image. The imagery here is different. The promotion is different. The agenda is different. We know that. So now you have black men saying, you know what? Since I'm in America with my fresh, organic, juicy, sweet strawberries, and nobody wants them because I'm a black man and they look at me a certain way, I'm gonna go overseas and sell my strawberries. And the women over there can say, oh my gosh, we have a black man over here with fresh, organic, sweet strawberries. I want a taste of that. I want that. Let me make sure that I present him with the most lovely bowl of fresh water so that he can rinse his strawberries off in. And so all the women are running up to the black man with the fresh, organic, juicy, sweet strawberries with their bowls, trying to present their different bowls. Like, look, I have the best bowl and my water is the cleanest. No, I have the best bowl and my water is the cleanest. You should come to me and put your strawberries in my water and rinse them and clean them in my water. And so black men are like, oh my gosh, I have all these options, all these beautiful bowls, all of these fresh waters to clean my strawberries off in. I didn't get this in America. And so you guys are able to choose whatever bowl that you want to put your strawberries in. And that's beautiful. But now let's say that a white man comes overseas with his fresh, organic strawberries. And he's standing right next to the black man with his fresh, organic strawberries. Those women gonna probably look at that white man like, oh, I heard about y'all. I heard about the white man strawberries. I seen it all over TV. I seen it all over CNN. I saw it in the magazines. The white man strawberry is sweeter. It's juicier. It's better. Let me see what the white man strawberry is about, because that strawberry may be backed up by a whole bunch of other juicy. This is the image. So yeah, you can still be presented with great options. But when it comes to that white man, the imagery gonna be different. The perception gonna be different. I hope y'all are following me. And again, it's not to diminish you and say that they don't appreciate your strawberries over there. I'm just saying, due to the programming and the indoctrination and the media and all of that, when it comes to the white man, it's still a struggle for you, black man. No matter where you go, due to the imagery, due to how they painted you universally. You may have better experiences other places, but at the end of the day, your struggle is still there no matter where you go. It's levels to it. And that's just facts. And I don't like that. Because your strawberries could very well be better than that white man's. But due to how they want to paint y'all to the world, it's like, yeah, they got good strawberries, but the white man may have better strawberries. That's just what it is. I'm not saying when you go overseas, you're going to get the same yuck. I don't want your strawberries. That's gross. No, I don't want those. No, you may be met with, again, big, pretty bowls of fresh water to clean your strawberries off in. But when that white man pulls up, it's still going, look, let's be real, y'all. And that white man pull up, or somebody else pull up, it's gonna be like, well, I've seen them more on TV, and I've seen them more in a positive light. So they may be richer, they may be better, they may be like, that's just what it is, due to how they paint black men to be. I hope y'all following me. Let me ask this: can y'all put a 9 in the chat if you following your little big sis? Lord have mercy. Let me scroll to the top. And I don't mean that to be disrespectful or none of that, but I'm just being real. I see y'all. Thank you, Vernon. It says the difference is that men know that we have to build to achieve. Women have the option to jump the fence if things go bad. I'm not with that, ninja. Damn shame. Lord have mercy. I see the nines in the chat. And some of y'all, I mean, y'all may not understand it or feel that, like, nah, that's not true. But y'all, look, y'all, I've seen some things. I've been coming across a lot of stuff that people be sending in to me. And a lot of the shit is universal as far as the imagery and the perception. I'm not saying that it's worse, but it's some things that are constant that remain the same due to the indoctrination, due to the programming. Universally, I would have to go ahead and say that they would say the white man's water is wetter. The ice is colder just due to how everything is presented. Like, let me just. Bobby says they said that when the boy fell into Harambo cage or whatever, huh? The dad was at work at the time, and they brought up his record from 10 years ago. See what I'm saying? Right. White image is pure to others. That's all I'm trying to say. That's all I'm trying to say, y'all. And again, it is not to diminish black men and y'all experiences when y'all go to different places. I'm sure it's beautiful and you have plenty of great options. I'm just saying it's still going to be a level of struggle that you guys are being presented with just based upon how society and media paint y'all against other men. Deco says 10. That's fine. But at the end of the day, like, that's just what it is. And I'm sorry to burst your bubble, but I've seen some things to where that's how it is for y'all, unfortunately. Like, universally, they try to paint black men to just be at the bottom. Even when you're at the top, you're still at the bottom. And y'all know that shit. And I hate that. I really do hate that for y'all. That needs to change. Look. But the reality remains. And I love the fact that a lot of y'all are not allowing those things to hinder you or stop you. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I know how society views me, but that's not gonna stop me from doing what I need to do. Because here's the thing, you guys. This is how dope black men are. And I'm saying this as a black woman. This is how dope black men are. Black men live in a world where all odds, a lot of odds are against them. Right? No matter how hard I work, no matter how hard I try, no matter what I accomplish, I'm still gonna be a nigga. That's facts, y'all. That's what black men go through. As a black woman, I see this shit myself. I see it up close and personally every day with my black man, my black husband I'm married to. At the end of the day, you're still a nigga. My husband has graduated at the top of his class from a 4-year university, from a majority white college in Iowa, 2 degrees, never been arrested, no baby mamas, no record, a business owner, a gym owner. At the end of the day, he's still a nigga. A lot of you you have the same type of experience. So where you've worked hard, you got all of these accomplishments, you're successful, you're a great husband, you're a great father, you're a great everything. And at the end of the day, society still sees you as a nigga. But this is how dope you guys are. A lot of you, due to the image that society places upon you, You could easily give into that and say, you know what? Since no matter what I do, I'm gonna always be a nigga. Why don't I just be a nigga? You know, like, let me just go ahead and be what they gonna say I am anyway. Why work so hard, bust my ass to work myself up to a certain level when at the end of the day, I can still get shot down, both literally and figuratively. I'm still not gonna get the respect that I need. I'm still not gonna get the support that I need, the acknowledgement, the recognition, the reciprocation. Why don't I just be a nigga? Like, y'all are so dope that y'all don't do that. And a lot of people, had they been placed in your same shoes, they would do that. They would say, oh, well, if it's gonna have the same result or turn out anyway, and I'm still not gonna get no respect anyway, or no, I might as well just go ahead and be what they telling me I am. I know this real spit. Hold on. Yeah, Deco. A lot of black men feel that way. No, I'm not going to give you the pleasure. I know who I am. But that's how dope y'all are. Believe me, I'm married to y'all. I'm married to one of y'all. I already know what's up. Thank you, be about peace and pleasure. A lot of people in that same situation would not have the level of resilience that y'all have. I feel like black people in general have a whole different level of resilience. Black women included. We're fucking resilient. We're dope. Black people are dope. I just don't appreciate how, when it comes to black men, we don't let y'all know how dope y'all are. We don't let y'all have y'all shine. When have you ever heard black boy magic, black man magic? It's not a thing. Don't even sound right. Right? It don't even sound right. Black Dusty. Why is that more familiar to my ear than black man magic? Why is black broke Dusty more familiar to me than black king, than black man, than black boy magic? Like, why is black Dusty more familiar to me? Why does that roll off my tongue so effortlessly? Because I've heard it so much. And then we have the nerve to really tell y'all that y'all are bitter and y'all are broken and y'all are broke and y'all are dusty, not knowing half of the shit that y'all go through. Not experiencing half of the shit y'all go through that we take for granted. As a black woman in a majority white neighborhood, I don't fear walking around my neighborhood, going for a jog in the daytime and somebody stopping and saying, oh my God, this is a black nigger bitch with locks. Let's call the police. I don't fear that. I don't have that fear. But a black man with my same description, locks and everything, jogging around a majority white neighborhood with a hoodie on. I'm sure that's a whole different experience. I'm like, oh damn, I hope I don't get Trayvon today. And that's just regular. That's something regular. It is nothing for me to look, you guys. There's been plenty of times I've thrown on my hoodie in my tennis shoes, locks flowing, and I'm jogging around my neighborhood. And again, it's mainly mostly white people out here. I ain't had no fear in my heart. I didn't fear nobody calling the police. I didn't fear anybody stopping me saying, "Hey, nigger bitch, what are you doing out here?" No. But my husband, I don't know. I don't know how he would feel doing that. My husband got to go to the gym and run. He got to go to his establishment and work out and go. You know what I'm saying? Alone, jogging around the neighborhood. Now, maybe we were together, it would probably be different. But I don't know. I don't know what that's like as a black woman to have that experience to where, oh my gosh, I fear putting on my hoodie and going outside and jogging in a white neighborhood. I don't have that fear. Be About Peace and Pleasure says a life without struggle is impossible. I love being a black man, and I don't care what Caucasian men are seen as. I can tell you these Brazilian women see them as cash grab and a bunch of tricks. I'm just saying. Look here, Be About Peace. I ain't knocking it. But even that's a difference though, Be About Peace and Pleasure. Right? So you guys are saying, okay, when it comes to the Brazilian women, they see them as a cash grab. That's still a different level to where it's like, well, they even see them as somebody that has a lot of money, probably even more money than you. You know what I'm saying? So it's still a level of you guys being perceived as a certain way. Well, when it comes to a black man and a white man, I'm pretty sure the white man has way more funds than the black man overseas. So let me go get my cash grab. You know what I'm saying? And it could be completely false. You could have way more money than that white man. But due to the image of the black man and all of that, they'll say, "Oh no, it's impossible." And I know so many black men that are doing the damn thing that are like wealthy, rich. And these white men cannot even hold a candle. But due to the perception, if that same white man put on a suit and a tie and a rented car, they're gonna be like, oh, he must be richer than the black man. And it could be something completely false. Bernie says, no beef with you, sis, just hyenas need to know. What you talking about, Bernie? Y'all are here clouded. Look, y'all gotta get off here. Oh hell, I've been on here for 2 hours. Oh no, it's almost 3 hours, y'all. Black Goku says, let's be honest, Kevin Samuels was their last hope, and they crapped on his grave. Now they're reaping what they sown. Not only are you seeing a lot of females reaping what they sow, but because they are having to like really deal with the reality of messing up a lot of their chances. Now I have to make you be the crazy person. I have to make you be the bad guy. I have to make you feel ashamed. I have to blame you. I have to say that you're the bitter one when really it's me. Jerron says, classic case when the deal is done and the devil comes to collect, it's a motherfucker. Look. Thank you, son. Is hot. It says you just described the permanent underclass in effect. Look, y'all. But that's what you're seeing now. It's like, damn, I ain't fucked up. But I can't let them see that I fucked up. So instead, let me make them feel like they fucked up. Thank you, IDP, making themselves vulnerable and uncovered. Right. And we're doing this way too much. Thank you, Tiger. Way too much. And we have no idea what we're doing. Thank you, Lil 213. They claim to not need a man until they are consumed by their own biology. Ooh. Men need women, women need men. We're placed here together for a reason. Women are placed here to be of assistance to men. Men are placed here to provide and protect for women. And we are collectively together, very much so complementary to each other's existence. We make life easier. We're supposed to make life easier for one another. Unfortunately, though, you have a lot of delusion, confusion, combative behavior that is really working against us. And when it comes to women, especially, you see so many of us that are really doing ourselves a disservice as far as going against nature. Nature did not intend for us to be separate, especially as women. So when I say that men need women and women need men, I would even go as far as saying that women need men more because we are the quote unquote weaker vessel. Like we need help. We need somebody to protect us. Men are a lot more resilient physically than us. You know, you guys are more capable of doing a lot more for us as far as making sure that our lives are a lot easier. And so I would even say that even though we need each other, maybe women need men a little bit more because it's certain things that we're not able to do on our own. You know what I'm saying? We're not able to build societies on our own. We're not able to really go out there and thrive and survive on our own. If we didn't have men, like let's say that there were no such things as jobs and no such thing as already made apartment complex or houses and mansions, neighborhoods. It was no such thing as that. Do y'all think women would be able to go out here on their own and build houses from scratch? Hunt animals? Nah. Nah, player. I'm gonna tell you right now, I ain't built for that. You go out there, you go get all of that, I'll assist you. You kill the animal, I'll gut it out and I'll cook it. But as far as put my life on the line to do all that shit, no. And so yeah, we gotta really put things into perspective. We do ourselves a huge disservice as women, especially when we have this divided type of stance when it comes to men. Like y'all have no idea how y'all are setting yourselves up for failure. Because best believe things about to get real out here, y'all. For real. It's getting ready to get real. And it's certain things that you just are not going to be able to do as a woman on your own. I'm going to shut up. Thank you, Reed. I wonder what these black women teaching their sons. Is it in their favor or for woke black men? It's so hypocritical though, Reed, because on one hand, we bash black men as a collective and as a whole, but then we'll teach our sons that they're awesome and they're powerful and all of this. And it's just like, well, mama, every day, all day, you talk about how I'm trash and how I'm dusty and how I'm conquering, how, the men that I look up to ain't shit. But then you're going to tell me I'm different. Like, that's conflicting. So I'm sure a lot of young black boys, especially, have a lot of internal conflict going on, an identity crisis. To where it's like, am I strong and a black leader or am I a broke, dusty, conquered nigga? Like, I don't know. This is why these young black men need their fathers in their lives. Because you do need the proper example of what a black man is supposed to do and be. But unfortunately, with a lot of these females out here today trying to even block men from being fathers, it just really creates this cycle of just chaos and confusion and destruction. We need men out here teaching and leading and guiding the men, the young boys, without women trying to block that or intervene. Dwayne says, let them keep saying there is no good black men. Inevitably, they will speak their own problems into existence. Words have power. Actions have power too, Dwayne. And the way that we're acting, whew, a mess. Charlie says, while black men moved from 36% to 61% of us being in the middle class or higher, black women's marital rate from 80% to 25%. We bout it, not bitter. Lord, that's what I'm saying. But because you guys are out here making the proper moves, they're taking it as, well, you must be mad. And all actuality, it's just a bunch of projection, right? I'm bitter that you're trying to do something differently. I'm bitter that you're moving wisely. I'm bitter that you're moving more strategically. I'm bitter that you're excluding me from, your plans because I'm not trying to be on call with what you have going on, whatever the case is. I'm bitter that you're trying to put things back into their proper roles. Because as a woman, I want to be in control. I want to be in charge. I want to do it what I want to do, how I want to do it, when I want to do it. And so I'm actually bitter that you are taking matters into your own hands in order to reestablish that. Thank you, Kelvin. There are no different overseas. I know I'm a vet. Kelvin, do you, brother? I ain't knocking your experience. Do you? You can be a vet overseas all you want to. All right. Thank you, Dwayne. Again, it says, what's crazy is that if a brother has an intelligent thought or comment, they go right to, oh, you're just bitter. Right. Yet they want his attention, resources, and protection while denying him his respect. Exactly. And I noticed that too, Dwayne. Whenever you guys have valid points being made, it goes right into, oh no, you're mad. Who hurt you? Because I can't answer your question, or I don't really have a valid response to it. So all I can do is go into, how something must be wrong with you. Thank you, Roberto. You need to go on Fresh and Fit. No, thank you. No, thank you. Thank you, Randy. We all need each other. Facts. But look, y'all, I said what I said. We coming up on 3 hours. I gotta feed my husband and feed my damn self and relax and get stuff around the house together. I just thought I would come on here with this very important dope discussion and just acknowledge the fact that a lot of black men are not bitter. They're just expressing themselves, and because a lot of them are rarely heard or rarely given the opportunity to talk about what they're going through or how they feel, when they do speak and we do hear what they're saying, it can come off as very passionate, and that is not to be mistaken for them being bitter or angry or mad. It's like, no, I got a lot that I'm dealing with, that I'm going through, and I'm making the best of it. And although this shit may be unfair and I may feel a way about it, it does not mean that I'm trying to discredit the next person's experience, or I'm trying to be somebody that's out here just complaining and not doing anything about my life or taking matters in my own hands. Like, no, I'm still doing that, but also I'm still a human, and I still have feelings, and I still have opinions, and I still have thoughts. And we have to be real enough to allow men, black men especially, to be able to get off their chest whatever they may be feeling, whatever they may be thinking, without all of the constant shaming, without all of the constant interjecting of what our experiences are over them, and how what they're going through is not as bad because after all, we're going through this. Like, no, we all have our experiences. We all have valid points to be made. However, why is it when it comes to black men, they're not able to get out whatever they're feeling at all without somebody saying it's not that bad, or shut up, or something must be wrong with you, or you're bitter, or you're hurt, or you're angry, get over it, do something about it, you're weak, you're soft. That's not cool. That's my whole point of this dope discussion, is to say that, hey, just because black men are doing the same shit that we do does not make them bitter. It makes them human like the rest of us. And it's not cool to just continue to try to silence them and act like, oh, what your experience is doesn't matter, or it doesn't count, or it's not that bad, or be quiet and just deal with it. That's not cool. That's not right at all. And this is why so many Black men out here are dealing with depression and stress and different diseases, because they got a lot of stuff bottled up because the world tells them to shut up and deal with it. Will says, much love, little big sis. That brother be at peace is only speaking about the brothers that only travel in the tourist areas. Rio. Brazil is more than just Rio. I've been to several states in Brazil, and that's not true. I don't know what you're talking about, Will. But I appreciate all that. Look, y'all, I appreciate and I respect all of you guys. Okay. Whatever your experience may be. Um, Hold on. Oh, he's talking about this. I think he's responding to this right here. But I don't know. Y'all, look. Like I said, I just thought I would have this dope discussion because, again, I have a platform that is majority Black men. I'm married to a Black man. I'm a Black woman. I come from a Black man. And so it's only right that we, are able to acknowledge the fact that this stuff goes on. And as a Black woman, I feel like it's important for at least me to acknowledge that you guys are being silenced. You guys go through a lot and you're just expected to just deal with it. And that's not fair. Right. But I hope you guys were able to receive the message, understand where I was coming from, even though we jumped into so many different levels and layers of the conversation. But I love y'all. I respect y'all. I support y'all. I love Black women. I love Black men. I love all of us. Just because I call certain things out does not mean that I don't care or I hate y'all or anything of that sort. I just want us to do better. And the way for us to do better is to acknowledge what our roles are, what our faults are, what our flaws are, so that we can do something different. All right. But I love y'all. I respect y'all. I appreciate all of you guys pulling up with me. We should go live again on Wednesday. Yeah. Hopefully we'll be able to go live again on Wednesday. So y'all put back up on Wednesday for more dope discussions. And we're going to get into some things. All right, you guys. So remember, you guys go live each and every Sunday, Wednesday, and Friday. Sunday around 11. I may be a little bit late though, but make sure that you have your ass at the gate at around 11 a.m. Central. And then Wednesday and Friday, we go live at around 6 p.m. Central. So y'all come on back. All right. Y'all like the video, share the video, subscribe. I'll see y'all on the next one. Tanique Marie, dope discussions. We're out. Peace.